Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Zeracon and I am back once again. Today's video was completely unplanned and a spur of the moment. I figured that this would actually be a good topic to talk about. Apparently, there's a rumor, well, there's some speculation that next gen's games might cost $70 or more. Now, this isn't confirmed, it's not refuted or anything like that, it's just speculation and I didn't pay these rumors much mind until since they're just rumors. But yesterday I saw some tweets that were definitely a bruh moment. So it starts with this guy who says, "If some of you are upset about games being $69.99 next gen, you're obviously too young to remember the price of Super Nintendo and N64 games." So this guy tried to justify game companies raising the prices of games by saying that SNES and N64 titles used to be that much. So one of the replies agrees with him, saying Mega Man X2 was like $100, which is why most everyone I knew had like 1 to 4 games, and everything else we rented. Spoiled modern gamers. This guy doesn't mind paying extra money to buy a game just to stick it to modern gamers. I mean, seriously, that the mentality of that is ridiculous. But let's take a look at another one. Let's take a look at one more. So here's someone else who says they have no idea. They've been spoiled, and these were for the regular games. No special editions, no add-ons, nothing. Just the regular game. Okay, so I don't usually use this phrase, but this moment definitely warrants it. Okay, boomer. Some seriously, you'd think that they would be glad to have the prices decrease. Now I'll be honest, I didn't pay for any of my N64 games. My parents bought them for me and stuff. I was a wee lad, okay? I was really young in the 90s. However, I will tell you that even though the prices dropped during the next gen, my parents still thought that like even $50 was expensive for a video game. So if you think that people who dislike the potential price change are only entitled, spoiled modern gamers, you're absolutely wrong. Now, there are voices of reason in this thread, though. Take these for example. LMAO, imagine defending games going up by $10 when we already have a boatload of microtransactions which publishers are making bank on right now. So many editions of one game, and almost every game has to have some form of DLC. But no, we also need a raise in price. Continuing on from this tweet. Watch these publishers raise the prices to $7 and add even more microtransactions in the games. Don't question, don't ask questions, just consume product and wait for next product. Yes, thank you. This person took the words right out of my mouth. Granted, they were colorful, but this was exactly my point. We are getting games with DLC and microtransactions that raise the total price of a game unless it's a complete or Game of the Year edition. Heck, even deluxe editions don't always include all the features. Remember Anthem with its multiple editions, which confused the heck out of people? And 2K. 2K is notorious for doing this with every deluxe or gold edition of their sports games, and they are milking the DLC cash cow dry. This next one's perfect. It says, I was born in 84, grew up with all that in the 90s, and I'm saying that $70+ is still way too high for next gen price tags on PS5 and Xbox. I'd say the same thing if Nintendo started doing it for all their games too. Stop defending that. Thank you. Thank you. Someone else makes a reply saying, yes, games I remember were $90, but let's not forget that the console was $125. The entry level was low, we all switched games with our friends and rented a ton. So it's not like we were kids, we didn't find a way to play. So it's not like when we were kids, we didn't find a way to play. Someone replied to this mentioning inflation. SNES was $199 at launch. That was a heck of a lot of money back then. Let's see. So looking at this here, what they shared. With inflation, that brings the SNES to $374.61. Okay. While Sony and Microsoft are playing chicken with their price tags, let's take a guess based on what we know. Based on what we know about the uh on the hardware that's being used in these consoles. All right, so let's lowball it and say that the consoles cost $400 to $500. That would still mean that the price of a console is going to be more now than back then, even with this inflation. And going back to the previous tweet back then, you could easily trade and borrow games. With a lot of gamers going digital, however, you can't do that anymore. Heck, if you can't get a refund for your game, you're out of luck. You're stuck with it. It's not like you could sell it or trade it off. I think Steam's trying to do something with that, but I don't know if that's actually become a thing or not. So I can't, actually say if that's true or not. And here's a nice little thread right here. While true, there is a lot of money being saved from distribution costs, packaging, brick and mortar space, just to name a few of the things. Digital gaming has saved so much money for these companies. I'm not up in arms over it, but I still don't think they should raise prices. The response: I agree. When I worked at Microplay, most PS2 games cost us about $35 each, and we would sell them for $49.99. We were a franchise buying from a distributor. This means big box retail would pay less as they would buy direct in the 1000s. This means that with their costs, they had more room for profit. Now think about today and digital sales being the main source of units sold. No middlemen. You sell direct to consumers. More profits without having to involve a retailer. I think they can still sell at $60. The person from before replies saying, people really need to think about all of this when price hikes start happening. As consumers, it doesn't add up when so much is being saved on their end because of digital gaming. I want to tie a separate reply that relates to this statement. Remember how every single game producer claimed digital releases would cut the price of games dramatically because of less production costs of physical media? Good times. These tweets bring up a great point. With digital games becoming more common, why haven't the prices dropped? Heck, you'd think that digital games will at least be $10 cheaper than their physical counterparts, but this isn't the case. There was no drop in price. The Switch has been criticized for having a Switch tax because games come on the more costly cartridges, which, I can understand that. But, however, digital-only games are still more expensive than other platforms, which shows that these companies just charge whatever they want. Like, there's no reason why a digital-only game should be more expensive than the other platforms. It doesn't make any sense at all, and there's no excuse for that. And here's something that is interesting to note. This tweet says, N64 cards used to cost $28 each to manufacture. And further down, that same person adds that the media it was on didn't cost $3, which I believe is they're referring to Blu-rays and stuff like that. That's why as soon as it did, game prices went down, not up. And that's right. The materials used for manufacturing physical games are dirt cheap compared to what they used to be. So it makes sense that the costs would go down. Heck, if the games use discs then, they'd probably be cheaper too. You probably wouldn't be paying the $70, $80 plus dollars that you paid then. But people are defending the games being more expensive without knowing why they were expensive to begin with. This video is probably going on for too long. I'm not sure how long it's going, but let's just take one last look at someone shilling price increases. Games should cost $100 plus right now. That's why developers, including Microsoft, use microtransactions to make a profit. Prepare for plenty of microtransactions and overpriced DLC. Okay, that last bit was probably sarcasm, but what the heck are you saying that games should cost over $100 and that microtransactions are needed to make a profit? And why why were you mentioning Microsoft? Like, nowhere in this original post was Microsoft even mentioned, so I'm not sure why you had to bring them into this. But major AAA games tend to, at the very least, break even on release date. So anything else is a profit for them. I mean, seriously. Uh, even so, like, say you have a game that like it cost you, I don't know, it was, let's say your budget was let's say it was like 20 man, no, say it was like 80,000. No, I mean $80 million. All right, so if you sold a million copies, and I'm just talking about like standard edition, you would, in the first day, you would at that point have made, you'd be like 3/4 of the way to breaking even. And then, like I said, that's not counting like your special editions and whatnot. That would earn you additional income. But then also, again, that's just for the first day. The next day, you would most certainly uh, break through, make your money back, and then start making profit. So, like, seriously, there's no reason why you should have to do that, and there's no reason to like even force them into the game. That's just pure greed, plain and simple, forcing microtransactions inside. If you think that you need them to break even and make a profit, then your budget is too high and you need to rein it in. So I'll end it with this. Companies can raise the prices if they want to. However, here is my response to that. Nah, I'm just kidding. Or am I? I'd like to thank one of my friends on Twitter. I would never have seen this post if it wasn't for him. He actually shared shared this on Twitter and stuff, and I saw it. So to my friend, thank you very much. Your check will be in the mail. So yeah, let me know when you receive that. But that will do it for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. If you like my content, feel free to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date on upcoming videos. Although I will say that my next Was It Good video should be out around next week. Also, feel free to subscribe as well. So until next time, everyone, I am Zeracon signing off. Have a good one.